We all know the hero of the Rebbe to make Siyumim every night until Tu B'Ov. We heard today by the Sikha, Tov Shimem Tes, by the Fabringen of Hey, Mנחem Ov, the Yom Ilul of Arizal Achai, of the Rebbe Gezogt, so Mamam Shazan the Siyumim until Tu B'Ov. We have today the honor to have Dr. Zאקלס, Machna Siyum, Avechem Mesechta? Mesechta Sukkah, get ready. The weather is already there, no? Dr. Zאקלס, the Eilum Vart. It's all yours. Shah.
It's going to be long.
Rabbi Isa, you have to be patient because they have a doctor here.
Okay, so it's going to be a long one, so that's why we're serving refreshments at the end.
I said before.
Okay, Masechta Sukkah, the last Mishnah talks about the division of the Lechem Aponim among the different Mishmarim that came to the base of Mikdash. The beginning of the last Mishnah talks about what would happen if Yontif was just before Shabbos or just after Shabbos. There's a change in how it's divided up. And the middle of the Mishnah discusses where exactly the Lechem Aponim, where it's divided up. So the middle of the Mishnah starts with Hanechnasim Chofim Batzofim. Those that came, okay, Shabbos, a new Mishmar came and an old one left. Those that came, they divided their Lechem Aponim Batzofim, which is the Choshev side, which is near where they shech the Koche. And the Gemara picks up, Toner Rabbanan Nechnasin Chokim Batzofin. Those that came to the base of Mikdash divided the Lechem Aponim in the north, Kadesh Yiru Shehem Nechnasim, in order to be recognized that they were coming. Hayetzim, and those that were leaving Chokim Badorim, Kadesh Yiru Shehem Yetzim, in order that they be recognized that they're leaving. And the Mishnah says, Bilga Le'elam Chalekas Badorim. The Mishmar of Bilga, which was the 15th Mishmar, they always divided their Lechem Aponim in the south, whether they were coming or going. The Gemara picks up, Tanu Rabbanim. We know the famous or infamous story with Maisa ben Miriam bas Milga. Shemira Dosa, she gave up her Yiddishkeit, V'holcha v'niseis l'sardevei echad, and she went and she married an officer, Mimalcha Yevanim, from the kings of the Greeks. When the Yevanim entered the Heichal, which was about 75 years after the establishment of the second base of Mikdash, she kicked with her foot on the Mizbeach, the Amra, and she said, Lucas, wolf, wolf, ad mosai atum nechalim amayim Yisrael. Till when will you consume the money of Yidden, and you don't stand by them in the times of need. Later on, when the Chashmonaim were victorious, when the Chachamim heard about this incident, what they did is they fixed the shechting rings. These were special rings. They fixed them into the ground. The one that belonged to the Mishmar of Bilgos, and they also closed a special window, which was actually like a cubby where they used to keep the knives for the shchita in the Beis Chacholofim. The Yeshayim, and those that say Mishmarte Shalava, that the reason that they got punished, Bilga got punished, was because they came late. They came late for their Mishmar. V'nichnas Yeshevov, Achiv Ima v'Shimesh Tachtov, and the 14th Mishmar, whose name was Yeshevov, stayed on, and they were Mishamish until Bilga showed up. Now, the Gemara says, even though the Shreinim, which means Bilga's Shreinim, which was the 14th Mishmar, usually aren't supposed to benefit from the fact that Bilga themselves did something that wasn't right. Gemara says that the Shreinim of Bilga did benefit. Because Bilga always divided their Lechem Mishnah in the south side, which was the less Choshev side. The Shevov, Ochiv Batzofim, the Shevov then always divided their Lechem Mishnah in the north side, the more Choshev side, whether they were coming or leaving that particular Shabbos. Then the Gemara says, according to the one that says that they came late, that Bilga came late to their Mishmar, Haina de Kansina Lekola Mishmar. Are you going to? Then it makes sense that you're going to cancel to punish the entire Mishmar because they came late. The whole Mishmar came late. Elo l'man Amar, but according to the one that says Miriam Bas Milga she'emira dosa, that Miriam Bas Milga, the one who gave up her Yiddishkeit mishum braita kansinin loydididei. Because of the daughter of Bilga, are you going to punish the entire Mishmar? Amar Abaye says, Ein, yes we are. Why? Because Kidamri Inshi, because like it said, Shusa Dinuka B'Shuka, Oidavu Oidime. The sayings of a child in the street, what the child says in the street, either he heard it from her father or her mother. And then the Gemara asks him, because of the father and mother who probably said these negative things, are you going to punish the whole Mishmar? Amar Abaye, famous quote, Oy l'Rasha, oy l'Shchenai. Woe is to the Rasha and woe is to the Shachet. Toiv l'Tzadik, toiv l'Shchenai. Therefore it follows that toiv l'Tzadik and toiv l'Shchenai. And there's a pasuk that Rashi is not Geiris, but Rambam is. Shenemar, it says, Imru Tzadik, it says about the Tzadik, Ki Toiv, that for him it's good. Ki Pri, the fruit, Ma'alehem, of his deeds, Yechelo, they will eat. And we'll explain that more later. The Rebbe makes a סיום on Mesechta Sukkos, which is in Chelek Yotes, Parshas Vaschanan, the third Sikha, in a very interesting, very analytical way. The Rebbe talks about, he asked the question, is shchenus, is neighborliness, is it intrinsic or is it extrinsic? And we'll explain exactly what that means. The Rebbe brings down three kinds of examples. Example of a shchena in place, a shchena in time, and a shchena also in place, time, and person. Thank you, whoever said that. Yeah, place, time, and person. So the first one that Rebbe talks about is place, and he talks about the din of bar mitzvah. The din of bar mitzvah is taken from the pasuk Vasisa Yoshev Atoiv B'einei Hashem, and the concept is that if someone owns a field, and there is a neighbor who wants to sell that field, that he basically has the first right of that field. And we'll call him the bar mitzvah. If somebody else comes, a lokeach comes and wants to buy it, then there are two ways to look at the din of bar mitzvah. First of all, according to Rashi, the din of bar mitzvah is what he calls an extrinsic din. That means that if the lekeach, the person wants to buy this field, and because this field is only for the lekeach's use, and he is not someone that is close, so the Rashi says that the anhaga toiva, the right thing to do is goes according to the bar mitzvah himself, which means that he has basically the right to buy it first. According to Rambam, it's different. According to Rambam, the law of bar mitzvah falls on the bezdin. That means the bezdin itself it can decide whether the field, whether it belongs to, whether it should be given over to the person who is closest to it, or whether anybody else can buy it. And how do you see this? Because in the din of bar mitzvah, for example, if a guy wants to buy the field next to the bar mitzvah, then according to Rashi, where it's extrinsic, which means that according to Rashi, the right is only superficial. So according to them, that if a guy wants to buy it, then he is potter. The guy can actually buy the field, and he doesn't have to. There's no obligation to the bar mitzvah. Whereas according to the Rambam, there is a more intrinsic. The law of bar mitzvah belongs more to the person that buys it, and therefore the guy who buys it is chayav to give it over. The second example that the Rebbe brings is the Tosefes Mechol al Kodesh, that if you're adding from weekday to Shabbos, there's two ways to look at it. You can add does the weekday that you're adding onto Shabbos, does it fall on the person? In other words, does the person is he accepting not to do a malacha on Shabbat, to add a specific malacha from the weekday to Shabbos, or is it intrinsic? In other words, can you, for example, can you add from Chol onto Kodesh? So according to the one pshat, you can add Chol on a Kodesh. You can add Chol on Kodesh if it's considered intrinsic, pnimius. But if it's extrinsic, then you can't add from Chol ala Kodesh. And then finally, the Rebbe brings down the inyan of nefesh itself, where the Rebbe talks about it's Oyel Rasha Oyel Shchenei, and there it talks about what happened in the Maisa with Bilga. And there was two levels. There's Kovu es Tabato. We mentioned that this is the ring that was used for the Shchita. And we also mentioned the Somsu es Chaloina. This was the Cholain, in the base Chalifas, in the Heichal, where they used to put things away. So again, according to Rashi, you could the Shrita was kosher for Zorim and for Nashim, and according to the Rambam, the Kovu Estabata had a different meaning. The Kovu Estabata had to do with the ring. There was a special ring, a special hook that was used for deskinning, and the Somtu Eschaloina had to do with the Big Day Kahuna that was put away. So that was a different view. And then finally, the Rebbe says that how is this interpreted in Avodas Ha'adam? In Avodas Ha'adam, you say the Oyel Rasha v'Oyel Shchenei. So what would be is that according to the one that says that Avodas Ha'adam, so Oyel Rasha is the Oy, the Rebbe says, goes on the tsar that he has from Averis, that is the Marius and the Kavod Reish, and the Toiv Letzadik goes on the Kav of Simcha. And just like we find in today's Hayom Yom, that there is two parts. There's the part of Sumera and Asay Toiv. Go ahead. Thank you very much. So finally, the Rebbe talks about Chodesh Elul, and Chodesh Elul can also be the Rosh Tevis for Oil Rasha v'Oil Shchena. So the Rebbe says that the Indian of Oil Rasha v'Oil Shchena in Chodesh Elul means that the Oil Rasha is the Shviras Hara from Chodesh Elul, and that has an effect on Oil Shchena, the Chodesh of Av. And the Tachlis of Shviras Hara, or breaking the Ra, is the Haisofa from Asay Toy from Gila Oyer. And how is this shown? This is shown through, we see from the Nechama that we have from Nachamu Ani, and from Anoichi Mechachenchem, that when you go into Chodesh Elul, into Chodesh Rachamim, which is the Amshacha of the Yud Gimel Midas Rachamim, which is higher than the Ishtalshalus, and that brings you to a Ksiva Tova and a good Gewenst Jahr.